Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Geneva Recreation Center, the cooler home ice to the Hobart Statesmen ice hockey team. The NCAA salutes its more than 460,000 student athletes participating in 23 sports. We cheer for student athletes in the game and in the classroom. The NCAA sponsors 89 national championships each year. For more information about NCAA championships, go to ncaa.com. The NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and the use of tobacco products by participants or any other individuals is prohibited at the competition venue during the competition and other championship activities. The NCAA thanks you for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, please treat today's players, coaches, and officials with respect. After all, Hobart and UMass Boston have many traditions, but bad sportsmanship isn't one of them. Respect is the name of the game, a message brought to you by the NCAA. NCAA Division III Men's Ice Hockey Quarterfinals. Tonight's game features the Hobart College Statesmen versus the UMass Boston Beacons. And let's meet our starting lineups. First for the visiting Beacons, starting at forward, number 8, Lemire. At forward, number 14, Larkin. At forward, number 15, Daly. On defense, number 11, Brett Mason. On defense, number 21, Tyler Bishop. Starting goal for the Beacons, number 30, Billy Faust. Head coach for UMass is Pete Belisle, assisted by Sean Walsh and Tom Murphy. And now for your Hobart Statesmen. Starting forward, number 17, Brad Robbins. At forward, number 19, Mac Olson. At forward, number 21, Vincent Russo. Starting on defense for the Statesmen, number 4, John Neal. Also in defense for the Statesmen, number 77, Carl Belisario. And starting goal for the Statesmen, number 31, Lino Chiente. Head coach for the Statesmen is Mark Taylor. He is assisted by Mark Phelan. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you now please rise. Recently, Hobart Hockey lost one of its all-time great fans with the passing of Waterloo, New York resident Patty Mariano. At this time, we ask that you join us in recognizing a moment of silence. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by Jim Steele, Hobart class of 1988. finger and both minor cord details. pursuit of academic excellence. They are encouraged to engage in all aspects of the collegiate experience while participating in highly competitive athletic programs. Division III student athletes dedicate themselves to become successful citizens and responsible leaders. Division III, discover, develop, dedicate. Did you know that approximately 18,000 student athletes compete annually in NCAA Division III championships, or that 40% of the NCAA's member schools sponsor sports in Division III, making it the largest division of college sports? Learn more about Division III at ncaa.org on the Division III Facebook page or at NCAA Division III on Twitter.
much time we got left? 2? Okay. I'm always prepared with liquids. I have to be.
You're always prepared. I forgot about that.
I have to be.
I forgot my water bottle. I just came back from spring break. I was lost mentally.
It's all good. Yeah, I forgot to email St. John Fisher. I'm supposed to be there on Tuesday. For what? For Wave Surf Lacrosse.
Oh, that's right.
I got to remember to do that. They're fine, but yeah, I'm usually better than that.
Yeah.
Then the following week, I got to go on the road. I have to go to Skidmore. I hate going there.
Why don't you like Skidmore? Skidmore is beautiful.
Sports information director is not the most accommodating fellow. I'm going to be up on the roof. I already know that. Yeah. They don't let the press box is 25, but they won't let me in there.
That's not nice.
I know. So can I go there and ask the students about it? I kind of get the same look.
I'm not a huge fan of Skidmore either and what they did to me in my last game of the season.
Yeah.
Virginia in the 25-23 game at the half. Who told me that was gonna happen? Wow. I'm sure the under was like 45.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Cooler. I'm Joe Askew. Along with Tyler Towns and Trevor Warfield Morrison. Once again, back at the controls. No score. Well, there in the first period from the Hobart Statesman, number 14 in the country, and the number 7 UMass Boston Deacons in a game that featured 27 shots and probably at least that many post-whistle scrums between the two teams, as two teams, again, that have not played since 1999. Got to the body early, a lot of six flying, a lot of dander raised in this one, and we figure we're going to have a pretty good, intense physical game here the rest of the way.
Yeah, and the game was actually a little bit docile for the first 10 minutes, Joe, and then, what started to happen was the Beacons were realizing that the Statesmen were kind of handling the puck and handling them as far as puck possession was concerned and having possession in the Beacons zone, and then the Beacons said, hey, try to get it past us physically now, we're going to amp it up a little bit, and the Statesmen had to retaliate, and then again, like I said in the first period so many times, is that Faust is having a tough time locating the puck, and then that in turn leads to Statesmen trying to poke at the puck, trying to get a cheap goal, and you can't blame them if the puck is always going to be loose, and that's resulted in the kind of post-whistle altercations that we've all come to know and love in this first period, and you have to expect that the physicality is going to continue.
Remain that way again. Hobart College shooting UMass Boston 15-12 in the first period. 15 stops from Billy Faust, but a lot of those were of the shaky variety. Nino Campy looking a little more steady, but did stop 12 shots from the Beacons in the first period. Seems we're getting 3 shots from Matt Olson, who's really been great on all sides tonight so far for the Statesmen. UMass has been a little more spread out. Matt Lemire had a couple of good chances, though, at about the midpoint of the first period as well. So in this one, we're kind of seeing the players we kind of highlighted at the beginning of this one. Lemire for UMass Boston and Matt Olson and Brad Robbins have been kind of the go-to guys here for the Statesmen. But you kind of get the feeling the first goal in this one we're going to see is going to be kind of one of those garbage goals. You just kind of get that feeling it's going to be some kind of scrum, something that hits maybe 3 players in the way in. It's going to be something that's not going to look pretty.
Yeah, I completely agree because, something that's eluding both teams right now, and it can kind of go one of either way. That final puck in hockey, hockey, being a soccer player, it's very similar to soccer in the sense that you play the game in thirds. There's the middle of the ice, you play defense, and you play offense. And the final puck for either team, specifically Hobart, I don't think the Beacons have had too many clean opportunities opportunities in terms of moving the puck. But the Statesman final puck has been eluding them. They try to center it across the crease and maybe get a one-timer in it, but nobody's really home. They're not really on the same page. It might be jitters. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's not there. And I completely agree, Joe, that I think the goal is going to be a loose puck. Might be Faust mishandling one. Could be a deflection with Canty on one end. So we're really just going to have to wait and see.
The winner of this one will move on to the Frozen Four on Friday night to take on either St. Norbert or Augsburg. No report of a score on that one. We're checking the other scores right now. SUNY Geneseo could be on the way to the Frozen Four. They lead 2-0 over Williams as they're getting ready to head to the third period there. And then in the other contest going on right now, Adrian taking on Wisconsin-Stevens Point. That one is even at 2 about midway through the second period there. So the semifinals will be on Friday night. Final will be on Saturday night. Should the Statesmen make it to either or both of those rounds, we'll have those games for you live right here on 105.7 WHWS. Waiting for the teams to come back out here on the ice as they're kind of waiting for each other to take the ice here on this one. Either team involved a little bit of gamesmanship here, but they're kind of waiting, and now Hobart will take the ice. We'll swap sides here in the second period. Hobart will be working from right to left in the home ice with the blue numbers trimmed in orange. And now UMass Boston out of the surface there in their road blue uniforms with the white numbers trimmed in black. Yeah, it's going to be Billy Faust to go to our left after a 15-save first period. Lino Canty, 12 shots in the first period for the Hobart Statesmen. Only one power play in that first period. Hobart going 0 for 1 with a couple of shots. UMass Boston taking 4 minutes of penalties. Hobart taking 2. That's above, as we mentioned previously, the pace for penalty minutes for UMass Boston. They only take just over 8 minutes per game in penalties. They're already up to 4 here in this one, and I got to imagine we're going to see a few more players in the box for this one, so with all the post-whistle festivities we've seen.
Absolutely, and especially with the war of attrition that the Statesmen like to play. They like to get that forecheck going. That means more work for the defense on the Beacons end, and then tired legs lead to mental mistakes, and that's going to lead to penalties. So I completely agree, Joe. There's definitely going to be some numerical advantages for both teams. It's just a matter of whether or not they can capitalize.
Teams back out, ready for the face-off as Matt Olson comes in. And the face-off will underway in period number 2. UMass Boston able to win it. That's off a stick back to the Hobart Tom Belisario will chase after it. And helping around to the near side post where it's kept in there. Then centered, but Belisario there to stop it to the blue line. Now, one-timer is blocked out in front. As that time was John Neal getting away with that string shot. Comes off to the left point. And a shot through traffic. And Canty to stop. Belisario flops down to the blue line. Now some pressure from UMass Boston. And a quick stop out in front. And it just got away as Albie Daly tried to get that one loose from the mid-slot. And could not. Back comes Hobart down the left wing boards. Send it out to Molson. One-timer. Faust able to block that one away. And it comes to the near side corner. As Russo tried to free it. Still put along the back wall. Robbins had that one jump up on him. Comes around to the far side corner now. The Beacons will break out. Break out to center ice. And it's picked up there by the Statesman of Jonas Topol. Nice pass. Up the left side, Bobby Sokol drops it back. Wolf all on the shot. And Faust able to stand up and take the shooting angle away from him there. And that was going to be a club pass as Wolf. I don't know about that. Looked like he tried to bring it down, and it just ended up bouncing to one of his own players after he fanned on it. Looked like he tried to make contact with the stick. Could not see. His back was kind of to us. But the official.
Sorry, Joe, but I just wanted to point out on the last defensive shift for the Statesmen when the puck was in their own end, John Neal came up with huge saves and definitely going to be feeling it tomorrow. A couple of nasty hits, one to the leg and then another one to the abdomen.
The face-off is stumped in by Nick Freeman, but he was not at the red line, so that's icing on Hobart. When the face-off to the left of Lino Chianti. Tested early here at the start of the period. But able to keep the net clean. As Freeman on to take the ball against the other number 9, Derek Colucci. And they were able to win it. Back in behind the net to Topo. On the boards by Tanner Shaw. The blue line not out. Chopped back in. Sokol into it back there to his legs. And Redfield skated away at the blue line and had that one broken up. Picked off there by Mikey Augustine. Getting his own. The shot's getting off into the mesh. As for a moment, Cunningham played. And that one deflected it already. After the whistle, a little shoving. Sokol's going to get under a skin or two. That time's Gallagher chirping at him.
And Joe, that's one of the larger understatesmen of the century as far as Bobby Sokol is concerned. He's gotten under the skin of more than a few players, not only in the ECAC West, but in the country as well in terms of non-conference games. And he's not shy of doing it here. And then NCAA quarterfinal.
On the draw, it's kicked back out and then picked up by Brandon Bistido. Bistido coming down the left wing boards, and he's shouldered off there by John Bono. Puck comes back in behind the net as Robbins had Andrew Crawford lined up, who sidestepped over the last minute. Back come the Beacons, was broken up at center, and whisked back to the way by Connor Simon. That one jumped just over the top of the glass and into the mesh. So bring it to another stop with 18:06 to play in the second. With a scoreless tie.
And this is kind of how the first period started off for both teams as well. Just trying to get a feel for it, and in a game of such magnitude, neither team really going to take a chance in the beginning of the period. You're going to try to feel it out and then go from there.
Case will win this draw as it's chipped on ahead by Brad Robbins into the zone. Chasing after Bistido, beaten to it by Crawford. Crawford tried to get it out over the blue line, could not. Comes through the near side corner. Set it out in front, now back to the goal to Mitch Byer. Byer's wristed through traffic, bounced off of Bistido just wide. Bank back down low to Gamache, trying to throw him in the slot. That one was blocked. And a slot pass. Time on that time by Robbins, went just wide. A brilliant pass that time from Connor Simon on the money to Robbins, who's going to be kicking himself for missing that one.
Yeah, that was a fantastic opportunity for Robbins, and a guy of such high quality. You expect him to punish the Beacons for leaving him open on the weak side like that, but Robbins was just unable to pick out the corner that he wanted, and decent save from Faust at that.
And the draw comes back into the corner, where it's picked up by Tyler Bishop for the Beacons. End up losing it back in behind the net. Has a second crack at it as they scrum at it after some more. Cam Sheen trying to free it. And it's back to the blue line, but kept in there by Jack Verdeep. Jumps up in the air off the stick. And Solar couldn't pick it out of the air. And it's banked off a stick back to the Hobart zone. McGee takes a look over the shoulder. Out to the near side for Belzario. Tried to break out past to Solar and missed. And he whisked it back to the zone courtesy of Tyler Bishop. Jumps out to a face-off circle. And trying to get a shot away that time was Drew Gannon. And his stick tied up, and back comes Hobart. Solar in behind Haskell on the pass. He'll catch it off the backboards. Tried to throw it back to the point. Could not. And stopped by Gannon. Banked high in the air. McGee trying to block it, could not. And Stone chips it along the left wing boards to Zach Lindsay. Lindsay and Haskell are quick down. They both go down at the far side boards. Comes free, and Kansas makes the shoulder stop that time on Drew Gannon. Haskell will bank it out just over the blue line, back out to center. And the second attempt now for Brett Mason in a physical first period. Dumps it back in the second time. The Belzario picks it up before he's rubbed out. McGee had his pass go off a skate. As the free ice here on the second has been at a premium. Banked right back in behind the Beacons net as they break out with Hobart making a change. Dumped in on Chianti, around on that one, and will take the whistle. And more pushing and shoving this time. Colin Larkin took a little exception there with Tanner Shaw. 16:15 to play in the second. The scoreless tie.
And something that the Statesmen do so well is not letting any player get a clean shot off on their tendy. And that just means that whether it's a poke check, whether it's a bump, whether it's just being in the area, affecting the shot of the opposition and not allowing them to get a clean look like they did just there.
As Chianti off the draw, faces that shot from L.B. Daly, and again shows off the glove hand to hold on to that one, and face off will be right in the same spot. Chianti has been sharp here to start this one. As it comes to the corner, was picked up again by Daly, spins away from the check at the goal line. Lost control, then body off by Mac Olson. They push and shove, puck comes loose, and Hobart breaks it out the other way. Vincent Russo coming down the left wing boards. Comes to the top of the faceoff circle, out in front, and just missed on the saucer pass intended for Robbins. And back comes UMass Boston 2-on-2. Going broken up as Larkin to bring the boards along with Tanner Shaw. Shaw will back in along to the near side. Robbins waiting for it there. They will bank it along on to Russo. Russo, chance to set up a 3-on-2. It's Olsen. Olsen will take the long wrister. Faust with the save. But it deflected into the corner. Russo, line backhanded pass out of the slot. And that was intercepted by Zach Andrews. Let's get it back out to center where he's pumped. He's dumped it in by Simon. 15-20 left here in the second. Still waiting for a goal. It's Simon banking along. Kept into the zone though. In a high slot, long shot. And that one misses by Garrison Santapass. Comes the first side Santapass after again. He's pinned to the boards by Tanner Shaw. Comes loose in the corner. Santapass after it again. Tried the swim move on Nick Bingaman. And Bingaman able to poke it loose. On the Sokol coming with Wolf. Sokol to the blue line. And it knocked off his stick. Puts it back in behind the net. Wolf giving chase. Comes on to the other side. Stopped by Pinkerton. Back in the point. Ball shot by Topol. Hits a leg. It goes just wide. Wolf has the far side corner. Spins around. Out in front. And Faust able to get the blocker on that one. Goes back to the point. Going Topol with a shot call. That one sails wide. Center pass has it. Banked it right back to himself. Tries to get it out. And kick save to Booty by Simon at the blue line. Back in behind. Sokol lets it go. Wolf out in front. Looking for big of a net when jumps over his stick. Simon again there to keep it in. The Statesman applying some more pressure here. Spinning around Sokol. In the corner. Topol. Center. Sokol. Trying to get a shot away. Tied up. As that one banks off the backboard. William has it at the goal line. Banked it back out Simon. Simon cross ice. Topol. They back it off the backboard to the side of the net. Comes first again. Sokol again trying to get a few free pokes at it. And again gets bumped after the whistle. It's 14:07 to play here in the second period. Being a scoreless tie.
Well, the Statesmen certainly pitched a 10, got the s'mores ready there, camping out in the Beacon zone, did a very nice job of moving the puck quickly, and they had all 5 players in the Beacon zone, but were unable to convert after a couple deflections in front of the net.
So the change up as Gamache comes out with Bistido, goes back to the line, and Byer's shot trickles off a leg wide, and it's picked up, and the breakaway pass to the blue line is blocked, but picked back up and skated in by McGregor. McGregor then had his pocket pick, and back comes Gamache. Cross ice to Robbins. Return pass missed at the blue line. Marsh trying to keep him in his own cannot. Turning the other way, Mike Thomson. Thomson trying to get a step on Mitch Byer. Takes it back into the corner. Goes it behind the net with it. Lost it to Byer. And Bistido trying to smack off the boys' does. Through neutral ice. Then he'll come back into the UMass Boston zone and won't make it far enough for icing. So bring the faceoff back to the Hobart zone with 13:32 to go with the second period. In what is still a scoreless tie, and neither team with much in the way of actual quality scoring chances here so far in the second.
Yeah, I'd say the best chance in the game thus far was probably that pass from Connor Simon to Robbins where he had it teed up but was unable to convert.
And the draw comes back into the corner. Byer will back it off the boards. Robbins will help it behind the up. And that time a nice little glove down by Brett Mason at the point. Mason then eludes a check. Goes down low. Centered it. And it's knocked away by Bistido on the pass intended for Jeremy Finger. They're able to pick it up as through the middle. It's a strike on to Gamache. Gamache top of the face-off circle. Takes his shot. That one is deflected off the stick of Tyler Bishop into the mesh.
That was one of the more interesting pucks that I've seen leave the rink area. It went all the way on top of the roof of the Statesman offices on the left side, bounced all the way along the roof, and then actually caught a fan, very lightly I might add, on the cheek. He's laughing it off right now, but that was one of the more interesting bounces I've seen.
What a good story when the game's over. The game's off. Goes back in behind the net. As Haskell trying to keep it in the zone, cannot. Back the other way comes Crawford. Crawford, the red line, he's knocked down. Puts a one-hopper on Canty, who's able to body it loose. Comes back to the point. And that shot blocked by Salar with the leg. And it's carried the other way by Cam Shaheen. As he does the swan dive at center ice, able to help it back in the UMass Boston zone. Comes right back out. Shaheen able to drop it back to Belisario. Then it jumps loose. Salar looks gassed, trying to turn after it. It's going to go too far. It's going to be icing, and Salar looks to be in some trouble. He blocked that shot with the ankle. He's having some problems.
Yeah, and it was one of many Statesmen thus far to take a shot to an unwanted area. That time he took it to the ankle, maybe in between that room where the pads aren't guarding any bare bone, but he seems to be all right, and he's going to stay on the ice.
Well, they asked him because of the icing call. I think they wanted him to the bench. There's a face off to the left of Lino Chianti. And now Salar's going to have to take the draw against Albie Bailey. And he ends up losing it cleanly, but gets it back. And able to get it across to Haskell. Haskell coming down the right lane boards, drops to Salar. Salar finds up the wrister. That one trickles wide, bounces off the backboards, picked up by Haskell. Haskell trying to fish it through his own legs. Comes back to the point, kept in there by Neal as his shot hits a leg and bounces into the opposite corner. Comes free, picked up by Haskell. Haskell skating a shot, and that one's blocked by Chuckwood in front. Goes back in behind. Shaheen has it. Shaheen on his backhand. Belisario slapping his stick at the point. He wanted to tee that one up. Goes back in behind. Russo couldn't connect with it. Then it drops him up in the air. It's lumped down by Lemire, and he'll take it down the left wing board. Lemire will take this shot. That one goes off the leg of Neal to the other side. Lemire has it again as UMass Boston takes a quick change in the Hobart zone. Through traffic, Chianti makes the stop, and a penalty coming up there. I think it's going to Chianti.
No, it's going to be against Neal.
As that puck got away from Chianti, and Daly went over the top of him, and I think you're right. He did go over
Neal. Yeah, no, Neal was actually a smart play, and it was probably a penalty that Neal had to take in the sense that the player that was coming over the top was going to have a clean look at it right in front of Chianti, and Neal just kind of takes a knee and tabletops him a little bit. But something that he's going to have to take.
So the UMass Boston power play connecting just shy of 25% of the season is on for the first time tonight.
Before John Neal, 2 minutes for interference. Neal, interference minor for the statesman.
We want Bingaman coming in 1-on-2, takes a shot just on top of the crossbar. Well, that would hit the mesh. I'm not sure if Faust got a piece of that one with his shoulder, but jumped out of place. Bingaman turned on the Jets from center ice.
And that's a Nick Bingaman special right there. He has a different gear than most Division III hockey players, and we've seen that so many times with the shorthanded process for the Statesmen this season, Joe, is that when the Statesmen get the puck, they look to try and just find Bingaman and let him go. He actually has a couple shorthanded goals on the season so far.
We'll take the draw, trying to go forward with this one. As it's picked up at the side of that and carried back in the other direction. Offering pass onto the stick to Larkin. Larkin will dump it in. Canty watches that one go to the crease to the other side. So paddle forward on the near side boards. It's freed up there. Lemire back to the point. Now cross ice waiting for it. Larkin now takes the risk, so that one goes wide. Lemire will track it down to the half wall. Deeks by one. Look at the side. Takes a shot for traffic. Score! Lemire sets up the screen, and it's snuck just inside the left post. Not sure if it was tipped on the way in, but with exactly 11 minutes to play in the second period, the power play goal puts UMass Boston up 1-0.
And that's extremely unfortunate for the Statesmen. As I said, it was a penalty that John Neal kind of had to take. Probably a goal would have ensued if he didn't, but it was a good job by Lemire to recognize the screen where it was and then drag the puck to a point where Chianti was going to be screened and just snuck it in on the back post. Nothing Leno could have done there.
So that deadly power play for UMass Boston strikes here to put the Beacons on top 1-0. We'll wait for the official announcement. It looks like Lemire is going to pick up his 15th of the season and team leading 44th point. Was 8th in scoring in the nation coming in. That's one more to the total.
By number 8, Matt Lemire, assisted by number 15, Albie Daly, and number 22, Frank DeAugustine. Lemire from Daly and DeAugustine for the weekend.
So DeAugustine picks up his 20th assist and 35th point of the year as well in the process, and now Hobart will play from behind. And this one chipped but stopped right at the blue line by Tanner Shaw. In the middle, Cam Shaheen, with his stick lifted, goes back in the corner with it. It's in his skates, he goes to the back of the net, trying to settle it, goes to his backhand to get at the goal line. To the blue line for Jonas Topo through traffic, that one goes wide. Comes out the other side, trying to chip it for his Carson Santas. And they're finally able to free it. DeAugustine, 3-2-on-1, the shot, getting the save, and then it hit the post on the shot by Gallagher. And it's pinned at the side of the net by Chianti again as Gallagher took the shot from down low. Chianti got a leg on it, and then it trickled off the left post and bounced out.
Wow, how fortunate for Leno Chianti there. I mean, he did well enough to get a piece of it, but not good enough to stop it from moving forward, and it just barely trickled left and actually shaved the post like Joe just said. But, you know, it could have been a 2-0 lead for the Beacons. It really would have put the Statesmen on their heels.
All right, respect back into the Hobart zone around the boards. Up the blue line, second attempt gets it through on to Brad Robbins. Robbins coming with Olsen. They just missed Olsen as he was coming right down the middle. Olsen bumped off the puck as it's picked up by Bono. They go to the rear side corner, goes high up in the air, back out to center. There settles it there, gets to the red line, will throw it right back towards the goal. Robbins takes the shot right from the boards. That one sails wide. Come to the half wall. Pitching in is Byer again, looking to fish that one out. Big scrum comes loose. In the high slot, and it's picked up there instead by Alex Demchuk, and back comes UMass Boston. Demchuk will dump it in on goal, and Kansas will put the glove on that one, and again, a late snow shower, courtesy of Demchuk this time. The face-off will stay in the Hobart zone. 9:34 to go, and UMass Boston now up 1-0. And the power play goal by Matt Lemire is 15th of the season.
Yeah, this is an unfamiliar situation for the Statesmen. They've been leading or having to lead for most of the games towards the end of this season. They haven't really been in this position since about December, but we'll see how they respond here.
With the shot that time as Christian would let it go. That one blocked. Bingaman looking to track down the bouncing puck and gets it up the left side, goes to Sokol. Trying to send away Wolf just over the blue line. That one's broken up. Back the way comes Lindsay. There is pocket pick. On the Bingaman. Rise up, takes his shot. That one sails wide to the right post. Tipped in by McNee. Banks it down low. Statesman trying to finish up a change. Bingaman into the corner. Centered it. And that one's going to be picked off there by Cannon. And he gets it back out to center. Right along is Bingaman trying to catch up to it again, but he was offside. And bring the face-off outside the Beacon's blue line. Exactly 9 minutes to go now for the second period. Statesman's down the goal. That's the UMass power play. He was able to strike. Lemire able to tuck that one home on a nice little screenshot that he set up for himself.
And Bingaman, he's having a fantastic game, but something that he's done throughout the course of this game so far is kind of throw it in front of the net when there are no numbers, and he's kind of just giving away the puck. You'd like to see him maybe hold on to the puck and try to find a stick of somebody who's open and can then facilitate.
Lindsay has a big stop there as that one comes straight puck down. Lemire, another shot, and that one I think hit Chianti in the face mask. Chianti stops that one with his head and it goes on a play. It nearly flipped up off him.
He gave it a little soccer flick into the netting, making sure that it didn't go into the cage.
That was Dominic Hasek style.
Well, as we all know, goalies are not afraid to use any appendage in their arsenal to keep the puck out of the cage.
Hobart now under some pressure here as UMass Boston throwing their oats after the go-ahead goal. That one jumps into the Beacon's bench. It will stay in the Statesman zone. 8:42 to play here in the second period. Rosh will stay out along with Bistadel and Robbins. He's been double shifting throughout the game. Sokol picks it up on the face-off, and it's almost banked along by Gamache, takes the return at center ice. All right, deep for the defender, and he took an elbow right off by Gallagher. A late arm goes up, and that's going to be a penalty on Gallagher. I'm surprised it took the official that long to throw the arm up on that one.
I don't really know what he was waiting for. I mean, that was as clear as day right in front of his face, but at least he got the call right. Better late than never, as Gamache took a nasty hit to the neck and throat area. I'm just fortunate that he's okay.
I think it was all interference. That looked like a clean-cut elbow from Garrett Gallagher. So Hobart to the power play for the second time. We're 0 for 1. Trailing at 1-0, 8:29 to play in the second. And Sokol the face-off. Back to Belisario, winds up.
UMass penalty number 6, Garrett Gallagher, 2 minutes for interference. Gallagher, interference minor for the Beacon.
Statesman really need to set up and get a good power play here.
Belisario slap pass. That one's deflected. We'll get to the Wolf. Wolf got it back to the point. Topo's wristed through traffic. That one's blocked. Comes to the near side. Belisario there to keep it at the top of the circle. Hands off to Sokol. Sokol, he tries to center. That one is going to be deflected to the point. Belisario though keeps it in once again. Sokol. Comes a problem, says chip back down to center ice, and a nice effort play by Tyler Bishop. From trying to reload, still 1:22 left in the power play. Sokol, top of the circle, back to Belisario, skates to the middle, winds up, now gives it back to Sokol at the weak side, takes a shot through traffic, and Faust able to find that one somehow and get the glove on it.
What a fantastic save. I was in between save and snare, Joe, but great save by Billy Faust, as there was a number of different players, both in the blue and white uniform, who was causing traffic, but Faust somehow able to see the puck cleanly into his own glove.
On the draw, it's held forward, back now below the goal line to Robbins. Wind up. That was a one-timer that hit somebody went over top of the net. It's Byer. Byer in the corner, way down low. Came behind Olsen. Taking around the horn on to Robbins. Waiting for it. Skating in. Byer from the face-off circle. Shrugged off by Faust. Goes back in behind the net. Picked up there. And trying to get loose. Here's Gamache. Back to the near side corner. Robbins to the blue line. Stopped there by Shaw. Waiting for it. Robbins one-timer. And that one is blocked by Dave Chakrin, who sort of ducked for cover when that one was coming in, but got the body on it, and that one catches the mesh.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm not ducking for cover. I'm running to the locker room. I am not getting away of a Brad Robbins slap shot. That thing is fizzing and has some smoke leaving in its trail.
We got the body for sure on that one. 7:05 to play in the second, 36 seconds. Left in the second Hobart power play. They trail it 1-0. As Gamache again wins the draw. On to Shaw. Fire on to Shaw, who's center at the blue line. Skates it to the middle, gives it up. Robbins again tees up, and again that one blocked, this time by Bishop.
And I'll tell you what, these Robbins slap shots, although they're getting deflected up into the netting, they have goal written all over them. Whether it goes in or not is up to Billy Faust, but it's certainly on cage, and it's tough to see with all that traffic in front.
Hobart doing a nice job winning face-offs here in this foul play. They've had UMass Boston hemmed in the entire time, but they haven't found the back of the net yet. In fact, the line fire shot through traffic that time. Faust makes the stop. And back down the left side with it comes Daly. He'll hand it off as McGregor. McGregor spins around, double teamed off the puck. It comes loose on to Olsen with a penalty coming in, and so Hobart's power play will come to an end on a cross-checking call. So we'll play 10 seconds of 4-on-4, then the UMass Boston power play just struck moments ago for the go-ahead goal. We'll get another crack at it.
That's Tanner Shaw going to get called for the cross-checking.
The face-off will stay in the Hobart zone. The Statesmen at a crucial juncture now. Going by a goal, about to go down one player here for the second time.
Penalty number 7, Tanner Shaw. 2 minutes for cross-check. Shaw, 2 minutes for cross-check.
Comes back to the blue line, and the penalty for the power play now in effect for UMass Boston. Coming through the middle of Bingaman. Bingaman drops back Sokol. Sokol then had that one knocked away from behind by Chucklin. As the Hobart penalty kill, aggressive as always, trying to get another chance there. It's Larkin bringing up the near side boards. Just over the Hobart blue line, blocked by Haskell. Over comes Belzali to pick it up. He's got room to skate away. He'll go back in behind his own net, burn some clock here, and then wind up and fire that one off the boards, back out to center. And there now will start down the near side boards. Gets away from 2. Deeks by another one. In towards goal. Centering pass. That one goes back in behind that to Augustine. Picks it up there. Got it out in front too. And there missed just wide. Because that one along the ice just missed the left post. Picked up again. Centered out with the high slot kicked away, but now in the zone by Gamache. And then finally in a second, Zach Belzali able to clear it out in Hobart. Trying to get a change done. Can't do it. That one will jump into the mesh. The face-off will come outside. The Hobart Blue Line get a badly needed change. With 5:24 to go here with a second, 46 seconds left in the penalty kill.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 8 for UMass Boston had some Ovechkin-esque puck handling there as he burned about 3 or 4 different statesmen starting at mid-ice and moving all the way in. He was unlucky to get the shot away, but fortunate for the statesman.
Back in the Hobart zone. It's free down to Shaheen. Shaheen starts ahead. Shaheen. Boys one check, comes down the right wing boards. In towards goal, a shot, it just missed wide with the short side. And then Topo right through the goal mouth. Out to their side is Hobart getting aggressive again on the penalty kill. Comes all the way back. As Neal will bank it off the boards and then slap the rest of the way down.
Looks more like even strength than a penalty kill for the statesman right now.
And Shaheen tried to put it, finally knocked off his skates. And back comes UMass Boston. Coming 4-on-3 the other way. Down the left side of it is Chucklin. Chucklin goes all the way back in behind the net. Body off by Neal. Now tries to spin the other way. That one jumped over the stick on the far side. Intended for Colucci. And breaking out is Wolf. Wolf in towards goal. Stops. Cross-ice pass. That was blocked on the front. Intended for Bingham, but he was coming the other side just out of the penalty box. Wolf nearly caught him out of the penalty box. It comes back out to center. Picked out there by Santa Pass. He tried to clear it in, but it's blocked. On to Wolf. Wolf stops. Hands it, coming in to the zone with his Sokol. He'll take his wrister. Faust makes the stop, and then when jumps into the mesh, and another play with 4:11 to play in the second period. He's kind of get the feeling now that Faust, who had a very shaky first period of sight for 15 stops, has finally found his rhythm and has kept Hobart at bay here with a second.
He's certainly settled in, Joe. You hit the nail right on the head there, and he's definitely made a couple of great saves, one in particular off that slap shot in traffic. But I would have loved to see Wolf maybe take a shot on cage there, as I think it was Olsen who was trailing, was just a little bit late to the play, and I think he should have been aware of that and put it on cage.
Again, aggressive. He was all the way down the corner to keep that one in. Comes around to the other side. Skating in to pinch is Simon. Simon in behind the net. Gamache. Backhand out to Beyer. Beyer winds. Gives again to Gamache. Gamache at the point. Beyer in traffic. That one blocked. Comes free in the slide. Robbins lets that one go. That one was again denied in front. And back come the Weekends. To the middle comes McGregor. McGregor backhand pass. The other comes out the other side. And this will go one-handed along to Gamache. Playing end-to-end now, 2-on-2 with Gamache. Drop back on to Robbins. Robbins lets that one go. And that shot blocked by Chucklin off his leg. We'll jump that one here. That one caught a left, and that'll bring the play to a stop with 3:27 to go here in the second. Hobart still down 1-0. And it's a very brave UMass Boston defenders. This time it was Chuckland getting in the way of another Brad Robbins shot.
Yeah, both teams are doing a fantastic job of just putting their body in front of the puck and taking the hit. You know, it's something that is it's scary to get in front of a puck moving that quickly, but in order to win the game, you're going to have to make sure that your goaltender isn't seeing too many clean shots.
On the face-off through the middle. But here again, taking his way by Haskell. Haskell is, going to get an offside call as Lemire's deep for these guys offside.
Lemire giving the Hobart defense all sorts of problems as he started to settle in along with his Division I transfer goaltender Billy Faust.
On the draw, this time the Statesman win it as it comes up. The right wing boards on to Haskell. Haskell chips along. On to Shaheen. Shaheen gets to his knees trying to backhand one out in front. Could not. And Larkin is sized up and knocked down. Haskell will backhand it right back in the Beacon zone with less than 3 minutes to go here in the second. Hobart down the goal. Lemire striking for UMass Boston in the power play. McGee is there to stop that one, banks and high off the glass. As we move on, defender Faust. Solara able to get 3, but could not take the puck with him as Bishop able to break that one up. Rosario stops it at the red line. Cross-ice pass waiting for it is Olsen. Olsen at the point. On the money, a shot there by Russo is denied with the short side by Faust. But kept in his zone again. Russo at the boards. The middle skating in the shot, and Faust with a big-time glove stop on Tanner Shaw.
That's a fantastic save from Billy Faust, coming all the way out about 3 or 4 feet in front of his own crease to cut off the angle and denies Tanner Shaw a wrist shot on the glove side and snares it out of the air.
Now Statesman shooters are starting to show the familiar look of a team that's running to a hot goalie. 2:21 to go here in the second. As this time Olsen tries to go forward along the goal line. Has pocket pick by Lemire. Puck comes over the point where it's slapped out by Santa Pass back here in Hobart zone. Topol moving along off the stick of Russo. Back to the UMass Boston end as Hobart changes up. Now carried down by Crawford. Ahead to Santa Pass, who's denied there. Standing up was Tanner Shaw. Shaw frees it. Back comes Hobart with Rick for the head of seat. Wolf over the blue line. Wolf taking it out wide. And then had that was swatted away by Chuckland, who picks it up and banks it out to the blue line. And carried on ahead. Coming down. And a triangle shot stopped that time by Chianti as Calucci came down the right side. They got it foot deflected. Comes for Santa Pass. The backhand and Chianti is there to hold on to it. That one came out of the air right onto the stick of Carrison Santa Pass. And Chianti positioned well, able to hold on with no rebound.
Yeah, it was a great job by Lino after a couple of unfortunate bounces for the Statesman. Topol got tied up at mid-ice as he was trying to bat the puck away, and then it popped out to a loose Beacon, and Lino does a good job to stay home and catch the puck right in his breadbasket.
1:32 now left in the second as they face off one clearly, and the shot by Gallagher blocked out in front. Hobart breaks it out. That one jumps off a stick into the mesh on the pass intended for Robbins. And so another draw here out towards center with 1:24 to go here in the second period.
And obviously a goal at any time would be opportune for the Statesman, but to get one at the end of this period, they definitely have had the better of the play for the past 4 or 5 minutes, but to get one at the start of the third period would be absolutely huge.
And the draw, it's from again at center ice. Comes back into the UMass Boston zone. It's picked up and fired to the near side for Finger. And then Chianti's able to kick that one out. Goes on to the corner. To the blue line. Was chopped ahead by Gallagher back in. Fires pass. Got in behind Pistigo. Was kept it again by Gallagher. With 1 minute to go here in the second. Picked up Pistigo. Got the door. Now down again. Gallagher keeps in the shot. And that time it catches the blocker of Chianti. Goes to the far side corner. Finger had that one knocked off his stick. But now Gamache with some tight quarters in his own zone. Able to one-hand that one along. Looking for Pistigo. That one's broken up. Pops on the stick of Finger once again. And then the center goes Lindsay. And he's wiped out there on the poke check. Comes to the inside. That one's in traffic at Chianti again. Make the stop on the screen shot by Bishop from the right point.
Well, both teams really having to defend for their lives here. Statesmen don't want to give up a second goal, and the Beacons want to try and hold on to the lead. And John Neal with a great defensive play to upend the Beacon and not let them get the clean shot off. And then after a couple of loose puck bounces. Kenzie's able to stand tall and catch the shot.
34 seconds now left. As they're drawn the Hobart end, it's scrum to the near side boards, picked up by Lemire. He goes back to behind Rosario right there with him. Rosario getting ready to leave a grab that time. Comes back to the point. Goes tracking them and skips wide of Chianti at the left bone. Barkin, he's knocked down as the puck's knocked off the stick. Rosario gets away with 16 seconds. On it goes to Solar. Solar, the shot, and it's offside. As Haskell was wiped out, he collided in there with Mason, but they were both off over on the other side of the blue line, so that play was going to be offered out anyway. 11.9 left.
Yeah, a little bit of tie-up there with Olsen and Mason. Mason's been extremely physical all game, as well as Olsen, two fantastic players, maybe two of the best players in the country. Mason a defender and Olsen a forward, obviously, going after it head-to-head.
On the draw at the blue line, this one back to center. In the Hobart zone, and that is going to make it just far enough for icing with 6.8 to go.
And this is more than enough time for a face-off draw win and a shot for the Statesmen. Brad Robbins did it in the ECAC final against Utica, where Gamache won the face-off right to Robbins, who then threw it into the top shelf. So maybe look for a similar design from Coach Taylor here.
He's right there on the off wing as Olsen takes the draw. This one will trickle into the corner. From behind net with 3 seconds around to the other side. Santa Fe's trying to tip it out. Holds the point, but they don't do it here for the second period as the UMass Boston Beacons able to break through. The power play goal from Matt Lemire is the only goal here through 40 minutes in this NCAA Division III men's hockey tournament quarterfinal score. At the end of 40 minutes, it is the Hobart Statesmen nothing. It's the UMass Boston Beacons 1. We will step aside after a break. When we come back, we'll take another look at the Hobart Eraser scoreboard and also the other scores here in the quarterfinals. The NCAA Division III men's hockey tournament as well. 1-0 UMass Boston on top. You're listening to Statesman Hockey, 105.7 WHWS. St. Norbert, you have one of the top teams in the country. Your stats website doesn't work. Come on. don't like that spot. If you were a child of the Cold War, as I was, that sound would make you pee yourself.
What,
that beep? That meant the Russian missiles were coming.
Oh, jeez.
You kids today don't know anything about that.
No. Thankfully so.
Yes. Maybe there really drills are in school, man.
Well, yeah, not for us.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
And you're right, it's not the same. But
the fact that it was real, it could actually happen. Almost did.
It's not like the other stuff doesn't happen.
It almost did happen. What?
Exactly.
You know. Right. Indeed. Yeah. Right. Indeed. Right. Very good. When I was just old enough to have seen the movie the day after when it was on TV. Don't do that. On the right side, we're watching a hockey game. Fine.
It's only 1-0. They got it.
It's invariably what happens. You have the shaky goaltender. If you don't beat the shaky goaltender, eventually he figures it out. Yeah, that's what happened. Patch a spot. That's not good.
A what spot?
We got a patch a spot here, I guess. back to the cooler. Welcome back to the cooler. I'm Joe Lasky along with Tyler Terrence and Chairman of the Board, Bill Morrison, back at the controls. At the end of 2 periods here from the cooler in this NCAA Division III men's hockey quarterfinal. Here it is, the UMass Boston Beacons leading the Hobart Statesman 1-0. The only goal coming exactly the 9-minute mark on the power play. Matt Lemire's 15th this season, as he was able to set up his own screen, and then a ceiling-high shot that found its way just inside the left post, beating Lino Chianti. Albie Daly and Frankie Augustine with the assists. That's where we stand 1-0 in favor of the Beacons. Total shots, Hobart out shooting UMass Boston 26-25. Beacons for the edge 13-11 in the second period. The UMass Boston power play coming in at just shy of 25% on the season. Connected, they are now 1-for-2. Hobart is 0-for-2 on the power play. Chianti for the Saints with 24 stops on 25 shots. Billy Faust on the other end, 26 saves for UMass. And we kind of talked about at the beginning of the first period, Billy Faust had some real problems tracking down rebounds, holding it onto the puck, but Hobart wasn't able to beat him. And in the second period, Billy Faust, even though he did not face as many shots as Chianti, made some really quality stops. And now Hobart looks a little frustrated on the offensive end.
Yeah, they do. And, at this point in this season, you're playing against such good teams that it's really tough to separate them, Joe. And I think that neither team is really going to surrender a goal in even strength hockey. And, the Statesmen had a fantastic chance in the second period with Brad Robbins. A great find from Connor Simon. He's about 4 or 5 feet left of Faust and wasn't able to convert. And then the best chance for the Beacons was a 15-foot wrist shot on a power play. And so, the Beacons capitalized their one chance, and right now they're up 1-0. But like you said, Faust has certainly found a rhythm, and he's seen the puck extremely well. He's playing with confidence. He came off his line that one time to deny, I believe it was Tanner Shaw, a good shot from the slot. But, at this point in the season, it comes down to capitalizing. And right now, the Beacons have capitalized on their best chance of the game.
Yeah, their best player has been their best player. As Lemire has 6 total shots, has the only goal here in this one for the Statesman. Matt Golson with 5 shots leading the way for the Statesman. A couple of good chances mixed in that one. He's really been all over the ice here for Hobart, particularly in the first period. A couple of nice defensive plays to help out his particular side's cause here in this one. But the Statesmen have to find a way to break through, and I think what we started to see as that period went on as well, particularly a couple of chances late where they tried to make that extra pass and tried to make it a little too fine. As a result of a couple of scoring chances later, went by the boards without shots. So it's one of those things where the goalie gets into your head, and you're going to think, well, we got to make this pass. It's got to be perfect. We've got to have that open net tic-tac-toe play. And against a team that's good defensively as UMass Boston is probably not going to be there. So you got to think that Coach Mark Taylor is back right now in the locker room telling him, keep doing what we did in the first period. Throw it on that. At some point, the puck's going to come loose. We're going to be there, stay with the game plan. But it looked like for a moment, Hobart got out of it.
Yeah, they did get out of it a little bit. And, they've gotten this far because they're very self-aware, and that's something that's extremely important for a team. They're self-aware of the fact that they're not one of the prettiest teams in hockey. If at all, what they do best is blue-collar hockey. They do the little things. They get in front of shots. They transition well from defense to offense, and then they're like vultures around the net in terms of second, third opportunities. Now, Faust has done a good job of minimizing those extra opportunities, but the Statesmen just need to throw some shots on cage. One instance that sticks out to me in particular, Joe, is when Wolf had that 2-on-1. It wasn't really a 2-on-1. It was more of a 1-on-1, and he waited a little bit too long and also was trailing the play a little bit too late, and the Beacon defender was able to get a stick on it. You would have liked to see Wolf maybe throw a shot on cage, and Faust is human. There's a reason why he's here. He's not Henrik Lundqvist. He's not Patrick Waugh. He's not going to be standing on his head and holding a shutout and being the reason why his team wins a game. Keep putting shots on net. He's bound to make a mistake at some point.
So again, for Hobart, will the pattern come into play as it has all season long? This has been a third period team all season long. They're plus 27 on the season in the third period. They've scored 42, surrendered just 15 in the third period as that forecheck just adds up and it takes its toll on opponents instead of all season long. And that's going to be another storyline we're going to track. Will it happen here? Will they take over a third period like they've done to every other opponent seemingly they face the season?
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's very possible that it could happen, and I'm kind of expecting it to because UMass Boston, their first tournament appearance, and maybe they haven't seen a forecheck like the Statesmen. I'm not necessarily sure what the hockey style is like in the NEHC, but, I imagine that they haven't seen many forechecks like the Statesmen, probably one of the best in the country, if not the best. So, let's see if those tired legs are an issue. Let's see them make mental mistakes. And if you're the Statesmen, you have to capitalize. Take a deep breath, pick your spot, and just let it rip. Don't be trying to be cute with it. Just put it on cage and something will happen.
Winner this one makes it to the Frozen Four at Lake Placid on Friday night. Should the Statesmen come from behind Minnesota, we'll have the game for you live. Right here on 105.7 WHWS. They will face either St. Norbert or Augsburg. No report of a score on that one. Other games going on in the tournament tonight for birds in the Frozen Four. It is SUNY Geneseo with a 2-1 lead over Williams late in the third period. Actually, that has just now gone final. So SUNY Geneseo is into the Frozen Four. They will take on either Adrian or Wisconsin-Stevens Point in the other quarterfinal, as that one, I believe, is still just about ready to start the third period there. And Wisconsin-Stevens Point 3-2 lead over Adrian as the third period just about to get underway there. The third period here is about ready to get underway as the teams are ready to take the ice one more time. Hobart State, we hear the roar of the crowd behind us. With the home Lions and blue numbers trimmed in orange, they'll be going from left to right here in the third. Lino Chianti in the goal to our left. He has stopped 24 of 25 UMass Boston shots. On the other side, UMass Boston in their road blues with the white numbers trimmed in black. And Billy Faust perfect so far on 26 Hobart shots as he has the goal to our right.
And the Statesmen love coming towards this end. You know, it's obviously their choice having home ice. Obviously, you get two periods going one way and one period the other way, so they like coming towards this right end of the cooler. And you know, you have to. They did it a number of times against Utica in the ECAC West Final. 3 goals coming towards this end in the first period. So maybe it's a comfortability thing for the Statesmen. They didn't really get the feel of them in the first period when they're coming this way. Hopefully, they have their stuff together. Coach Taylor, I'm sure, with a fiery speech for the seniors. This could be the last period of hockey, and if that's the case, you need to leave it all out there.
Well, Statesmen will once again bring on their top 4 line. Vince Russo, Matt Olson, Brad Robbins, with John Neal and Carl Belisario at the points. Matching up with Carl Larkin on the draw, is Larkin able to win the draw and send it right into the Hobart zone with Belisario going back after it. Grace will attempt to break out his Olsen. Cross-ice pass, missed intended for Russo. And back right back to the Hobart blue line. Was back right past the stick of Lemire, and back comes Hobart. It's Robbins coming down left wing board, stops it back. And the one time by Russo block as he's wrestled with the corner. And back come the Meekins. Lemire coming down the middle. Coming in on the middle, 2-on-1. With his accelerating pass, looking for Lemire, and jumped over his stick on that saucer pass. But kept in the zone and finally freed on to Olsen. Olsen coming with Russo right down the middle, takes a shot. It's off a stick and wide. Bounces off the backboards. Right for the puck, Derek Gallagher. He's able to move up the right wing boards, and now up through the middle to Derek Colucci. Colucci trying to tweak his way through. He's forced to turn back, waiting for reinforcements to arrive on the change. Comes on the near side. As Garrison Santapass comes in on the play. He's in the corner, but it's deflected away. Poked to the half wall. Quick shot off the boards by Gabe Chocolate, and that one was actually scored out of play. With a minute 2 gone here in the third period. And no score, and I'm not exactly sure, but it looked like somebody's cup came out. That's a new one on me.
I saw it fluttering around on ice, and it looked too big to be a mouth guard.
I don't know what that was, but looked a little suspicious. But anyway, it's off the ice, and we get the period. The face-off here to resume the period. It comes back up to center ice. Smacked right back in by Gallagher. And out of the blue line, knocked away. Back to the red line, where it's helped forward into the Hobart end. Picked right up by Jonas Topol. Off the stick with Tyler Wolf, back to the UMass Boston zone. Taken away by Nick Begelman. Up comes Bobby Sokol. Pushing in. Centered out in front, it goes off a stick. And it comes to the near side board. Center pass, backs into the head. Begelman throws a shoulder into his check, and it squirts back out to center. Forced back in by Connor Simon, but his team was changing up. Gallagher. Up to the long near side, but stopped by Brandon Vistigo. He passed first in behind, intended for Robbins. He banks it around. Comes out to the other side. Gamache is there, takes a shot from the boards. It's off the skate near the corner. And got back in behind, but Gallagher didn't see where it was. Was helped out there by David McGregor. And that one comes back out to center once again. Picked up by Gamache. 2 minutes gone here in the third. Statesman down the goal. With the winner going to the Frozen Four in Lake Placid on Friday night. Near side picked up by Alex Demchuk. Demchuk was just banking in the Hobart end. Was picked up by Belisario under pressure. Gave it up along the far side of the boards, but helped out by Gamache. On the Robbins, Gamache coming down the middle, 1-on-2, goes out wide. On his backhand, hit the side of the net. And on the careless Crawford. Crawford bodied away by Soulard. There's a breakout pass intended for Demchuk, misses. Comes free at the blue line, picked up there by Thomson. Thomson will take a shot. Nice block. That one's blocked there nicely by Robbins and helped right back out to Reed for set. Jump right back in Hobart. Carlos Arias there. UMass Boston changing up. He bumped out right in the center of the ice that time. Cam Shaheen. Long shot, no problem for Canty. Directs it away to the near side. Trying to help it ahead. Got it just out to center. It was picked up by Shaheen. Shaheen trying to chase after it. Picks it up in the near side corner. Trying to help it back to Haskell. But that one's broken up. Haskell got it back up. Shaheen at the goal line. Wide. He takes a shot through traffic. Then Faust is able to pin that one to the body and hold on to it with 16:43 to go in the third.
And the forecheck continuing to be an issue for the Beacon. Statesmen yet to capitalize from those turnovers that they caused in the Beacon defensive zone. But you certainly see that it's taking a toll on these Beacon players as a few of them are going to get a shift right now as there's some tired legs on the ice for the team in blue.
Trying to go forward that time machine, and then that one knocked off the stick. He's trying to pinch in, but it comes back out to center. On back to Jonas Topol. Deflected in by Haskell. Goes right back into the UMass Boston zone. It was picked up by Gallagher. Gallagher hit his own man with that one. Comes back in behind. Soulard trying to jump in after it. That one got by him. To the blue line, but kept in. Topol's long shot, and Faust will hold on to that. And bring a whistle. 16-17 to play now here in the third period. It remains a 1-0 UMass Boston lead. Matt Lemire's power play goal in the second, the only goal to this point. Goes off to Billy Faust's right. Trying to go forward was Olsen. He's knocked down. And a quick shot that time by Robbins, and Faust had to be heads up as he stops that one without a rebound.
And Faust starting to get peppered here a little bit. The Statesmen have done a good job to throw it on cage. I'm sure that was one of Coach Taylor's second intermission messages to his team. And the Statesmen have responded well. Just got to try and find it back in the cage.
Comes all the way around the near side, trying to pitch in his Neal, but keeping his own, but it's passed in. And back on the center, carried out ahead by Colucci. Colucci and denied from behind there by Topol. Comes back in behind the net, center pass has it there, trying to put it through the slot. It comes all the way back out to center. Turning after Crawford. The middle center pass will just dump it right back to Hobart, and Mitch fires after it. But back there all the way to the near side. As it comes loose right in front of the Hobart bench, picked up by Bobby Sokol. He's digging his way in, chasing after one-handed forward. There goes right over the top of the defender. As it comes off the far side, Wolf keeps it in, banks it off the backboards. Sokol stumbles after along the near side. Dennis has to help along, but kept in fire. Out in front, hit a leg. Right back to Bayer, face-off stop. Back in front again, where it's picked up by Crawford. And trying to jump that one out to center, but it's stopped by Shaw. Shaw looking good, trying to send away Pingerman. That one's broken up. Sokol after it far side. Then we drop it back. Rick coming in on the wraparound, trying to bank it off the goaltender. Didn't work out. Goes back to the blue line and just out. McKee back after it. And McKee will just dump it back into the zone. It comes through the middle. Gamache couldn't do anything with it. And now it's back on to Robbins. Robbins on the right side. The stick lifted from behind by Lemire. Couldn't get a shot off around to the far side boards. And it's on to Daly. Daly giving it on now to Larkin. Larkin stops at the half wall. Tried to center it up. This one comes free. Centered looking for Lemire, but bounced away from him. He could not connect. Back out comes Pistadel, and we will throw that one in on goal. Faust directs it to the near side. And it's lifted right back out through center as Hobart changes up. Canty forced to play that one as it was in on goal. Now carried out by Solar with a head of steam. Crosses over the blue line, avoids a check. Puts it back in behind. Shaheen is after it there. Shaheen trying to one-hand it along. Goes back to his forehand out in front. Comes back to the blue line. Realizes up, takes a shot. Score! Goalie waved it off. It looked like he crossed the goal line. But the official waves it off immediately, and I think he blew it.
Wow.
Belisario's back after the official on the spot said no, that one looked like it bounced in behind the goal line. We don't have Toronto, so there's no goal. It's Shaheen coming on the left wing boards. Yeah, sent right back in. The Hobart Fans jumped up to their feet. It looked like that one hit the crossbar and bounced in. The referee on the spot says no. And again, from my vantage point, Lemire just above the ice, I think he got it wrong. Comes around to the near side. That one hits somebody in the back and comes to the right side with finger. Pumping it back in the Hobart zone. And back after goes Tanner Shaw. Comes to the far side corner as Topo trying to play it. He cannot. Comes back to the point. Gallagher trying to settle it down. He instead will chip it back in behind. Comes back over the corner. Olsen humps it around, and Russo has it. On the left side, on the Robbins, through the middle. Takes it back on the left wing. Puts on the brakes. Cross ice. On the shot. He takes it. Faust able to get the blocker on that one. And so the Statesman buzzing around here. With less than 13 minutes to go. Trailing by 1. Trying to glove it down the blue line. A shot. Couldn't quite pull it off. Sokol will put it back over the blue line. Takes the pocket. Sokol. He gets way in. He's knocked out. That's a hold. And they don't call it as he was sent to the ice. And back on the left side is Lindsay. Lindsay will chip it on in.
The referee on this end with a couple of questionable calls.
With Simon helping along to Wolf to the middle. Sokol again. Trying to settle it down. Trying to juggle it. Couldn't quite pull it off. Puts it in the corner. They're going to try to set it on the wall. Left to back. Fire the wrist. That one's blocked on the diving attempt there. Sokol trying to get back after it again. Yeah, I see it stump back into the Hobart zone. It's turning after it to Simon. Simon bumping in there along with Daly. They'll push and shove, and Simon emerges with it. And back comes Hobart again. It's Wolf turning it on. Hobart trying to change up in behind him. Goes in towards goal. It skips wide. Flying all the way up on it is Ben Gamache. Couldn't quite do anything with it there. As he jumps in right in front of the penalty box. And it's right back to the Hobart end. McLeod turns after. 11:35 to go. Hobart down the goal. And a couple of near misses here in the third. Gamache bumped off it. Christie trying to jump it in. They would have to tag up anyway, but he can't do it. Picked up by DeAugustine. DeAugustine got it on back to Colucci. In towards goal, but that one's blocked. There's a nice job there by McLeod to finish his check. Ball is flying there, and a block by Brad Robbins on the wrister from Mason. Ball goes all the way back to the UMass Boston zone as Robbins had to rip out of the bench. Picked off at the goal line by Haskell. Haskell has a big shot. Stopped by Faust. Rebound comes free. Back on the middle. He'll throw it through traffic. That was blocked in front by Mason. Comes all the way out to the other side. Augustine couldn't connect with it. Augustine can't get it out. Second attempt does. And it's going to go back to the Hobart zone. They wave off icing, so back after it goes Neal. Neal stops him behind his net with 10:45 to go here in the third. Across ice, intended there for Shaheen. One-handed so long. Turns around at the bottom of the face-off circle. Back on. One time by Wilson. But just wide off the leg. To the other point for Topo. Topo. Across into the corner. They kick after it some more. Shaheen again gets a stick on it. Can't do anything with it. And back comes Demchuk. Demchuk will lift it back to the Hobart end. Canty lets that one go. As Topo is finger boards by Thomson. Back to the blue line, and it does make its way out with Gallagher. The whistle right back in, and both teams will change it up. On the far side, intended for Robbins. Doesn't get there at the red line, but through the middle of Russo. Taps on back. Through the middle, it's Olsen. His shot will go off a stick and wide. They'll chase after it. Russo trying to send it to the side of the net, and that one's broken up. Chipped back to the blue line, just over it. Was recovered by Shaw. Shaw then had it knocked away from him. From jumps up at the red line, and then missing on that swipe was Lindsay, and back comes Hobart. Just Russo a shot across the make the stop with no rebound, and it had to be clean because Brad Robbins was looking for any hint on the rebound, and Faust is there to control that one.
Well, you talk about Vincent Russo leaving it all out on the ice. A fantastic shift from the sophomore out of Jackson, New Jersey. He was diving on the ice, making sure that the Beacons weren't able to come out of the zone cleanly, and then got a great shot on cage, but just unfortunate that Faust was able to hold on to it.
Wolf on the face-off as Faust was knocked down as he pummeled Bingaman. He was outside of the crease, but was able to hold on again with no rebound. And as shaky as Faust was handling the puck in the first, he's been anything but that here in the third. He's had to make some clean stops, but has done it. So we'll do it again to Faust's right. And Bingaman again on the draw. Matching up with Daly. Beat him clean last time. This time Daly wins. It's back into the corner for Mason. Mason has to come back out. He just passes the side of that and stick with by Bingaman. Heading out back. Sokol, centering pass to Wolf. He couldn't connect. It was in behind him. Comes free in the slot. And Lemire finally recovers and takes it up the right wing board. Trying to dig his way in through again. He'll take his shot. Canty kicks that one away to the right pad. Bumped in with his own man, did Lemire. Comes back to the blue line and nearly got away from Mason. Mason to recover. As it's deflected, Wolf got tangled up with the linesman. And Byer will dump it in, and Hobart will make a quick change. 9 minutes to go now in this NCAA Division III quarterfinal. UMass Boston a 1-0 lead here at the Cooler. Kick forward again by Connor Simon. That's dumped back in Hobart and with Gamache back after it. UMass Boston finishes up a change. Comes to McNee on the near side, trying to help it along to Bistadel. Bistadel coming down the right wing boards. On his backhand in front. Boston saving the rebound, jumps away again. Yeah, a big scrum there. The whistle sounds as Faust finally found it. As a sneaky little backhand by Bistadel gave Faust some problems. Hobart again cannot connect on the rebound.
And Hobart, is really struggling with these second and third opportunities because Faust does a good job of, when he parries it away, when he knocks it away, it's relatively close to him, and then he gets his body right in front of his second shot and is able to cover up and then make a second or third save. So, like we said earlier, Joe, he had a really tough time seeing the puck in the first period, but he is standing on his head and playing a fantastic game of hockey here in the second and third.
Face off to his left now. Gamache stays on to take the draw. That's able to Colucci. It's a scrum, and then Colucci able to carry it away himself. He will just wrist it into the Hobart end. Belisario has to turn after it along with the Augustine. Up that along, and coming down left side, Bistadel, he'll dump it in. Gamache will turn after it as well. Up to the near side, George. As Demchuk can't do anything with it. Now following the second attempt, forces over the blue line. And Hobart forced to turn back. Gamache at the blue line, winds up, takes his shot, that one hits a leg out in front, Belisario jumps up on it, and the puck trickles away from him. Coming on the right side, Thomson. Thomson in go, mini 2-on-1, the shot, score! Thomson ended up being wiped out by his own man from behind. And with 7:55 to go in shorts, for UMass Boston to lead 2-0.
And that's what's going to happen to the Statesmen here in this last 7:55. They're going to be exposed as they start to throw more numbers forward, and it happened there as a turnover right around the blue line for the Statesmen resulted in a quick transition for the Beacons, and now it's a 2-0 lead for UMass Boston.
But Thomson will get that one to go, and so UMass Boston a 2-0 advantage here. And Hobart really with some work to do with 8 minutes to go.
Thomson, unassisted.
Another shot there, and Chiesa gets the glove on it. As Canty was looking for a third goal for the Beacons. But Canty able to get the glove on that one with 7:41 to go.
And that's just an absolute backbreaker, Joe, because the Statesmen are really on the front foot for the entire third period. Beacons rarely had a chance, and then the first good one that they get after a turnover, they bury it.
Comes to the blue line on the face-off, but carried forward by Shaheen. And out comes Haskell. Haskell to the left point. He takes a shot, Faust. No chances. Puts the glove on it and hangs on there. We're down to 7:29 to go. The face-off will be to the right. Now Billy Faust. So Shaheen, Haskell, and Szilard staying on the forward end. Comes free with the point. This one is just eased back into the Hobart zone with a chase on between Tanner Shaw and Zach Lindsay. Shaw wins the race, and back comes Hobart. As he knocked down by Shaheen. Shaheen on his backhand. He's poke check. Szilard has it. Gets some help from Shaheen in the corner. Szilard able to recover back to the point. Over to Simon. Let's fire a shot. That one hits the side of the net. And the rebound goes right to Bono. Bono down the right-hand side. Gets ahead of steam as he gets to the red line. And we'll dump it in. Canty will make the stop and hold on. And the whistle will settle with 6:53 left now.
The Beacons are playing with a ton of confidence. 6:53 away from heading to Lake Placid in their first ever tournament appearance. And you can see that they're just oozing with confidence now. Statesmen are going to need to get one soon and then take their chances later on in the game.
This has been a 12-3 shot advantage here in the third for Hobart. Hitting one that looked like it went in, but the official on the spot said it did not. There's a face-off one back in behind by McNee. And we'll get up the right side to Russo. Russo right hand on to Robbins. Don't got away from him just over the blue line. Where it's picked up by Chucklin. Up off the boards and just over the blue line. The Benoit for the puck right at the line as Russo flies in there. They'll turn around and dumped in that time by Colin Larkin, and UMass Boston will now go to the quick change, keep fresh troops on with 6:23 to go. Deflected in by Russo, back into UMass Boston zone. Goes back in behind the net with Olsen taking the body. He's knocked down as it's Gallagher in behind the net. Gallagher will take it down the left side. Goes straight over the blue line. Coming down the left side on his backhand. Centered out in front. No one got loose. Gallagher has it on the side. What a big shot. Streaking in was Bishop. That one goes wide. Goes back out to center ice. 6 minutes to go. Hobart now down 2.
And this is the first time this season that I've seen the Statesmen visibly fatigued. They're usually the one dishing it out. And this time it's UMass who's gotten the better of them physically so far.
So it's Neal up the left wing boards as that one jumps in the air off the skates of Alex Demchuk. But it comes out of Sokol, but he's jacked up in open ice by Brett Mason. Puck goes back in behind the net. And Bingaman looking for some retribution, perhaps it's kick free. Sokol can't do anything with it there. It comes off to the near side boards. Pitching in there to Russo. Sokol trying to center it. It's knocked loose to the point. Bingaman able to skate after it and keep it in. Well, Sokol back on Bingaman. Got it loose. Fire on this off wing. Now takes a shot just over top of the crossbar. Got plenty of time to pick out his spot there. Holding his line that time was Topol, but it finally knocked loose. Comes through though. Sokol a shot. That one hits the line. Comes to the other side as Wolf is after him. Wolf has that one jump over the top of his stick. Comes around the left point. And right back in Hobart zone with 4:50 left. On it goes. That's going to be offside. Hobart trying to change there, and it was Gamache a little too overzealous. That'll bring the play to a stop now. 4:45 to go. Hobart down 2-0, and maybe running out a little bit of steam, but they have to find a reserve now if they want to extend their season.
Yeah, Benny's got to take a peek there and see where his teammates are. Went in a little bit too early. They had something going, but they could dump it in, but just a little too overzealous on Gamache's part.
Robbins chase after the loose puck. Can't do anything with it. Comes out to the other side, and waiting for it is John Bono. He will try to tease away the blue line, and using off the stick that time, Jeremy Finger in Hobart zone. He skips one wide of the net. Pitching him to the other side is Andrew Crawford. Off into the corner where it's stopped there by Tanner Shaw. Back from the States, but this to go through the middle. Able to one-hand one into the zone, and Faust will just put a glove on that one. As Bristow was coming in on him. And that's going to bring another whistle, but we're down to 4:11 left.
And you're starting to get into serious danger time if you're the Statesman. It's one thing to pull the goalie down by 1. It's another to pull it down by 2, and they'd love to try and get one before they go on that 6-5 advantage with nobody in net.
And the car comes all the way to the near side. That will be a decision after we wait here in the next couple of minutes or so. It's carried on by Chucklin. Chucklin got loose. They're really chasing after the top fly, but it's going to be ruled icing. A close race there, and the UMass Boston bench arguing their case, and they have one there. As Lemire in a foot race with McNee, maybe beaten by stride with that.
And it was a great job by McNee to recognize the situation. And I don't think Lemire even saw the puck, but McNee saw it and was able to scoot out in front of Lemire and get the icing call.
Well, and then coming on the draw, beaten as it goes on to Gallagher. On the far side chip, but kept in. Turnout shot by Haskell is stopped by Faust at the side of the net. Lard fires his body in. Faust has to play it away for him. Over the corner. And now screws loose by Gallagher. And again, just dumps it right back in towards Leo Chianti. He comes on the rear side. And it saves him back through the middle. With Salard. Coming along with Shaheen, it's in his skates. Salard now takes a shot from the boards. And Faust had a little bit of difficulty there with Shaheen coming by. But able to find it, and again, put the glove on it.
And I think that this is just Faust's style, Joe, is that, it's not always clean. He's not always going to hold on to it, but he'll eventually cover it up, and he'll eventually get out of trouble. And he just seems to be in the right place at the right time, as good posture has been ready. And that's the reason why the Statesmen have a goose egg up on the scoreboard.
And pitching a 39-save shutout at the moment. And it comes around on the other side. And a shot from an angle by Olsen skips wide. Comes to the other point. Neal there to backhand it in. That comes loose. And again glove down by Neal. Can't do anything with it as it's carried away by Colucci. Colucci to the blue line. Winds up, takes the shot, and that one's blocked by Fire. Dove at him. And that one finds the mesh with 3:08 left.
And Coach Taylor's got to start to think about pulling Lino at some point. You don't want to be scrambling for 2 goals with anything less than a minute and a half, minute 45.
Saints were in need of something approaching a miraculous finish now, down 2-0 with 3:08 to go. They were both in the first and 4 on the line. Tomash goes forward on the draw. It goes down all the way back out to center. Comes right back in though, and stopped by Chianti. Along the other side boards, but now UMass Boston trying to throw up the line here at center ice. And Shaw gives the poke it loose on to Robbins. Left side to Belisario. Belisario stopped there, got tangled up with Gamache. And it's dumped right back in by Thomson. From the boards. Tapped forward by Shaw. Dumped along the half wall. Couldn't do anything with it there, and Hobart breaks it out. Belisario coming on the left side. Now with Wolfel easier in the zone. Wolfel chase after it, but beaten there by Crawford. Crawford all the way out to the near side. This one chipped there, but kept in the zone. And Soko trying to flee it out of there. Topo sticking his nose in. The shot there by Billiman. Foster able to left that one away with a stick. It's on to Bono, and he'll dump it back to Martone. 2:10 to go. Canty again has to go behind to stop one. On to Simon. Play near side of Topo. Topo trying to avoid the forecheck, and Billiman missed it, but the puck all the way to the blue line. The puck chipped right back the other way. Another 2 minutes now. Simon forced to figure 8 away from a forechecker. Over to get it up to the left side. Winding up, Topo carries out wide. Centers it. That one goes off the leg in behind. Coming in is Olsen. When the net is empty, Chianti on the bench for the extra skater. This one chipped back out to center. Was picked up by Robbins. So the Hobart net now open. Here comes Olsen. Takes the shot just wide from the high slot. Chipped along the far side boards. That one gets by. As there, the pinch up was Topo. Still not out of the zone. It's kept in again and finally skated right back out with 1:20 to go. Fire on to Robbins. He'll smack it on in. In comes Gamache flying in. That one got by him though. They're getting chipped up high through the red line. Back down along. On to Olsen. Olsen, top of the face-off circle. Takes a shot. Yeah, Faust gets the stick on that one. He directs it over the mesh with 1:02 left.
And the Statesmen, it's just really unfortunate right now what you're seeing. They are dominating this hockey game in every way, shape, and form. Probably aside from the physical aspect, I think the Beacons have certainly dished out a few more hits than the Statesmen tonight. But in this third period, they've certainly been on the front foot, just unable to cash in, especially in that last shift there.
So Bailey comes on with Sokol and Wolf. And Hobart's going to call their timeout now to try to set it up. With 1:02 to play here in the third period, our score, it's UMass Boston 2 and Hobart Statesman nothing. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. You're listening to Hobart Hockey on 105.7 WHWS. Desperation time now for the Hobart Statesmen. 1:02 to play in the third period. Trailing UMass Boston 2-0. As Mike Thompson's third period goal on a quick rush is one the Statesmen will have an awful lot of difficulty overcoming at this point.
Yeah, it's been a really tough game to watch as a spectator, as a broadcaster, just because it's one of those games where Hobart completely dominates, and they just had a tough time finding that final pass or just putting it on the right side of the cage, maybe the side that Faust isn't on. It seems like he's everywhere right now, but the Statesmen would really love to try and get a goal quick off this face-off and then try their luck in the last 60 seconds.
On the face-off, big minute on the draw. Catching off with Lemire, able to win it back to the point. With 1 minute now to go. And on in front, Sokol is in prime real estate there and deflected it wide. Sokol has it back in behind. Back in one. Big one up Belisario. That one threw a leg in wide. And back end to the point. And Belisario was handling it wide open net, but able to poke it away as the racer was dealing with nothing but net in front of him. Top to the blue line. This one chipped up in the air with 38 seconds to go. Belisario turns after it. As we're coming back in behind by Byatt. This one reload again, 30 seconds now left with Belisario. Left side on the Wolf. Wolf has had it checked away and banked back out to center with Byer. In a foot race along with Daly. Daly throws it at the open net, missed it wide. Goes back in behind the net, was picked up by Bingham in 16 seconds to go. Left side on the Wolf. Wolf with 14. Comes to the blue line, trying to put it on the front, deflected free. On to Simon, he couldn't do anything with it. And this one again towards the open net, but too far, and that is going to be icing here. And took him a while to make that call. 3.5 seconds to go.
And UMass Boston can all but taste it now. They're going to be on their way to Lake Placid. All it took was one opportunity for the Beacons as they've been on their heels for most of the game. But they were able to cash in, and it's going to result in a ticket to Lake Placid.
We'll see if UMass Boston, and they do decide to take their timeout. We'll stay here with 3.5 seconds now left in regulation. UMass Boston with the 2-0 lead as their first appearance in the NCAA tournament, barring something we've never seen before, 2 goals in 3.5 seconds, is going to be real for them as the Hobart Statesmen again on home ice for the second year in a row are going to fall their first tournament game. There's a couple of great opportunities here at home that they'll be able to advance. Starting with the Thomson for the first time since 09. Did a lot of things right tonight. 42 shots in this game tonight, but again, they had their chances early. Could not beat Billy Faust, and then Faust found his game. And by the end, Billy Faust could be the reason that UMass Boston moves on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Billy Faust and a lot of what's gone on in front of him in terms of his defenders. Probably the only team that I've seen thus far match Hobart on the defensive end in terms of intensity and composure on the puck moving out of the zone, but certainly a valiant fight by the Statesmen.
The face-off carried to the corner. Last few seconds are gone. And UMass Boston moves on to Lake Placid as they defeat the Hobart Statesmen in the NCAA Division III men's quarterfinal by a score of 2-0. And so UMass Boston continues on. They now move to 23-4-3 on the season. The Hobart Statesmen, for the second year in a row, their season comes to an end in the NCAA tournament on cooler ice as they fall to 21-5-2. As again, their quest for a Final Four appearance comes to a close here. As again, they come up short despite all that rubber on net. They fall to UMass Boston by a score of 2-0. We will step aside. We'll come back and your post-game wrap-up here in this one as the Hobart Statesmen fall 2-0. They're listening to Statesman Hockey, number 5.7 WHWS.
Yes, it does.
I saw that one, that puck, from everything I saw, bounced in over the goal.
It looked so close. I mean,
dude, I saw it, but I saw white in between the puck and the line. Yeah. But that wouldn't look like. If we had Toronto, it would have been 1-1.
I probably would agree with you if not for the fact that I think the puck kind of bounced. It bounced outwards with force. You know what I mean? If it was over the line, it would have gone up. It wouldn't have gone out so much.
Not necessarily. Who knows? back to the cooler. Joe Laskin along with Tyler Terry, the chairman of the board, Bill Morrison at the controls as Hobart hockey comes to an end once again at cooler ice in the NCAA tournament as they fall here in this quarterfinal round matchup with the UMass Boston Beacons by a score of 2-0, and it was quick strike offense for both of the goals for the UMass Boston Beacons here tonight. The only goal up until the third came in the second period. His team scores through the first. Matt Lemire scoring on the power play at the 9-minute mark of the second period. Albie Daly and Frankie Augustine with the assists, and a nice little play that Lemire set up his own screen and then snuck one just inside the left post past Canty's blocker side, and that was his 15th of the season. That made it 1-0. We would go to the third period with that 1-0 lead for UMass Boston intact. They would add on to it the insurance call coming on a quick mini 2-on-1 rush. Mike Thompson's fourth of the season unassisted at 12:05, and that was the only other goal in this one as UMass Boston would advance it over the Hobart Statesmen here tonight, despite 42 Hobart shots, and Billy Faust stops all 42 of them. Nino Chianti faced 29 UMass Boston shots and was able to stop 27 of those. The UMass Boston power play that connected with just shy of 25% coming in. They knocked it over 25% as they go 1 for 2 tonight. The Hobart Statesmen were 0 for 2 with the net advantage. Face-offs were just about even. UMass Boston with one face-off advantage, 35-44, but the face-offs were pretty well even here throughout. And for the Hobart Statesmen, the third period script was there, as again they were able to carry the physical play in the third period like they've done to opponents all season long. Wind it down, start cranking rubber on the net, and eventually power their way to a win. The only problem is they couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah, they couldn't find the back of the net. Like I said, this was the first team that I've seen really take a physical toll on the Statesmen. There was one play that stuck out, really seared in my brain. Vincent Russo, who's a guy who's a workhorse and worked his tail off the entire game, the entire season really. But there was, he was just kind of waltzing back, and not waltzing, but just visibly exhausted. And I think it was in part due to the amount of forechecking that the Statesmen were doing that wasn't resulting in a goal. Kind of getting a goal and seeing the puck go in the back of the net gives you a little bit of extra legs. But it wasn't happening for the Statesmen tonight, mostly in part due to Billy Faust and his outstanding play. But it's really a tough break for the Statesmen, and what it's meant to the seniors on this team, to Mac Olson, to Benny Gamache, and Lino, it just is meant so much to them, and there was so much hype around the school, so much buzz, and for them to fall short in a game where they get 42 shots on goal, it's just gut-wrenching.
Indeed it was, but again, they went out pretty much the way they played all season long, and not much of a change in terms of how this team has played all season long. They again were able to do it against a quality opponent here tonight. Just couldn't find the back of the net and fall here in this one by a 2-1 count. Checking the rest of the scores of the NCAA tournament here tonight, as we do not know the opponent here for UMass Boston. There's no report of a score between Augsburg and St. Norbert. Also, SUNY Geneseo makes their way to the Final Four. They defeat Williams tonight by a score of 2-1, and they will match up here. This one is almost final, as it is Wisconsin-Stevens Point leading late in the third over Adrian 5-2. So SUNY Geneseo will take on Wisconsin-Stevens Point in the Final Four from Lake Placid on Friday night. So for the States, we kind of look forward now onto the 2016-2017 season. Last season, the big concern was they graduated 5 of their 6 defensive regulars. We wondered how the defense was going to be able to recover from that, ended up finishing in the top 5 of the country defensively, and so they were able to answer that question pretty emphatically. There will be a lot of senior losses as well for this team moving forward. Some very outstanding players in this program's history are going to be moving on. Ben Gamache, who again finished with 19 assists in the season, has played his final game as a Statesman, as of course as Mac Olson, who is again the finalist for Sid Watson. A very high honor for him indeed. Here in the season, his line mate Brad Robbins is also going to be graduating here, and so he's played his last game as a Statesman. So not a lot of seniors lost, but really kind of the core of this team that again is making now 2 NCAA tournaments in this one. But, and of course, we're going to lose their starting goalkeeper as well, Leo Chianti, who has finished out his senior year. But, and the big but is there's a lot of young players going to step up into the breach. We already know that Frank Oppliger can certainly get the job done. An outstanding first year and a pretty good half season as well, and that's here for the Statesman. He'll be back for his junior year to man the pipes. They're going to have players like Bobby Sokol now and Nick Bayman are going to be that core of the seniors next year on this team. And Jack McNee, a first-year defender, saw a lot of action. He's going to be part of that crew as well, along with Tanner Shaw. So they got a lot of first-year defenders. They're going to be here for a little while. So this team, again, this is going to hurt. It's going to hurt for a while because oftentimes tonight they were a better team and probably deserve a little better fate. But 2016, 2017, we'll move on towards November. This team should be right back in the thick of it.
Absolutely. It certainly stings, but the sting will go away for the guys who are returning. And once they take a breather, they step back, they realize what they've done. They said, this was probably a pleasant surprise for the Statesmen this season. With Bo Webster going down, Sean Rudy only eligible to play half the season, and with losing a number of seniors last year to graduation, this was a team that a lot of people around campus, and not really skeptical because Hobart Statesman hockey is always on the upper echelon, but of this caliber, NCAA quarterfinals, this was certainly a very, very good season for Coach Taylor and his coaching staff, and for the program as well. But quickly, a really nice moment when I saw Benny Gamache, senior year, a guy who just plays with an just unbelievable amount of passion, and you see him walking, skating off, and you see him turn around, kind of look up at the cooler and take it all in, and then skate back into the locker room. It's just, as a fellow athlete, as a fellow former athlete now, Benny and I, as well as Mac and Lino and Brad, have all moved into the NARP world, which is the non-athletic regular person as far as college campuses are concerned. It was just a nice moment to see for Benny, and it really means the world and then some to collegiate athletes, specifically ones who play for the orange and purple at Hobart.
It was, so kind of a tough way to go out, but I figure this team will be ready to go once again November hits, and probably well before that. I'm sure they'd like to lace them up again tomorrow and start the season. It's not going to work out that way, unfortunately, but still congratulations to the States for another outstanding season, second berth in a row in the NCAA tournament, the first time in program history that has ever happened. Taking a look at the Hobart and Williamsburg scoreboard as well. Earlier on in the game, you heard on 89.5 WEOS, Hobart Lacrosse, the first ever triple overtime game in program history. They win it over Wagner 10-9, so they're able to get it done there in overtime. Also, Williamsburg swimming and diving in the NCAA Division III Swimming and Diving Championships earlier on today. Tomorrow, sailing at Graham Hall Team Race and St. Mary Women's Race. And on Tuesday, we'll be back for kind of an unusual matinee as Williamsburg Lacrosse, coming off a blowout win in North Carolina over Greensboro, will take on St. John Fisher, another nationally ranked team. 5 o'clock, the opening draw there. And that'll be right here on 105.7 WHW.